Hope everyone's having a great day. Tyraku here. I'm bringing you another raid video. And today, very, very special day. I completed what is possibly the most difficult thing in all of raid. You may be wondering, is that getting through Nightmare Campaign? It is not. One second, I got a phone call and then I'll get right back into this video. Okay, they did not answer, but you may be wondering, is that getting through Nightmare Campaign? It is not. Is that getting to Faction Wars 21? It is not. What is it, you may be wondering? Getting Silver 1 in the arena. Not Platinum. Silver 1. We just got this mission complete. With the past about week on the stream, we've been trying to get into Silver 1 in the arena. You may be wondering, hey, isn't Silver 1 right after Bronze 4? It is. Isn't Bronze 4 the beginning of the game? It is. Well, why are there so many high-level accounts or high-level champions in Silver and Bronze arena? I don't know, but we finally made it into Silver 1. The reason why Silver 1 is such an important arena to get into is because if you're following along in the missions, like the last video I mentioned and several other videos, it talks about going through the missions and staying on track with your missions. Well, if you cannot get into Silver 1, you cannot complete your missions. And this is a massive stalling point for a lot of players. I see it all the time in the stream. I've seen it on this account. I've seen it on my main account. I've seen it on my other free-to-play account. And you stop here. And not only do you stop in the missions, but you also stop in the challenges. Now, it so happens that the next thing I have to do is the win silver 30 silver medals in the arena, which is probably going to be just as difficult, but I'm able to complete the missions now and progress along through here, which is going to be a massive help because I don't actually get stopped again until here, which is win the spirit potions, which is perfectly fine because I can do that tonight because today is Sunday and I'll be able to do this on Monday, which it resets at 8 p.m. for me. Now, I don't want this video just to be bragging. I know you're probably feeling, oh wow, Tyraku, you've gone so far. So I don't want to try to brag too much. And instead of that, I'm actually going to show you guys what exactly I used to get into Silver 1. So, I used, let me show you, better yet, let me show you my last battle I did. So the battle log. I lost the defense a decent amount. But that's what happens whenever you lose against these players. Apparently I beat him, and he didn't like that, so he battled me again. So jumping over to the attack side of things, I basically attacked the same team basically a few times. Now, granted, this was a different player, but I attacked them. This is what it looks like. My defense is the same as my attack. You can get into silver if your defense wins, which is awesome. That didn't happen for me, but that is possible. My team power, 36,000. This is my team structure. Now, let me jump into the gear of each one of my champions and tell you exactly what each one is used for. So starting from the top, I have Spirit Host. Actually, my Diabolist goes before my Spirit Host, and I had to make this tweak on the stream yesterday. The reason why I made that tweak yesterday on my stream is because I had Spirit Host going first with the idea that her Strengthen would be up before Diabolist's Speed Boost. Diabolist's Speed Boost is an AoE attack, so it attacks all enemies, and it's based off of attack. So in theory, having Spirit Host go first is the best option. But where the issue came in is that my gear was limited, so it's either make Diabolist my fastest or make Spirit Host my fastest. And with Diabolist, her attack all enemies, her most important ability, places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies. This allows me to ensure that my team goes before the enemy team every time. So if you're being held back by gear, and I have pretty high speed on my Diabolist, 194, if you're being held back by gear, then definitely make sure the Diabolist or your speed booster goes first on your team. There's definitely other speed boosters you can use, but in my case, I'm using Diabolist. And as you can see here, I have all speed sets. Let me show you my gear. The most important pieces, I'm going to have speed subsets on a lot of these. The most important pieces, honestly, is these speed boots. So the speed boots, along with the speed sets, perfect. The gloves, crit damage, not that important. The defense chest piece is nice, helps me survive a little bit longer, possibly. But all I really want from Diabolist, I don't care if she dies after she places this buff. I just want her to place this buff. If she survives 2 turns, awesome. But her main goal is just to speed up my team, so I go before the other team. And then after Diabolist goes, we have Spirit Host. Spirit Host is also in full speed set, I want her to be the second fastest in my team. So in this case, she has a speed, as we shown earlier, of 179. So she's still very close to Diabolist, but not as fast as Diabolist. So she has her speed boots, and she has full speed set. Not very worried about what the gear stats are. Getting speed substats whenever possible, better than nothing. But definitely speed boots, 4-star even. Take them to 16, get your 35 speed, you're good to go. Her main role, like if she dies, that's okay. Her main role, well, actually, she has 2 roles. One is the aura, but it doesn't matter if she dies or not. Increases all ally speed by 10%, which is 10% of this base number here. So this white number, it's 10% of that number. And then her primary goal is to just get this 50% increased attack. The reason why this is so important is because our nukers, or big damage dealers, are going to be scaled based off of attack. So we want to give them the best possible chance of one-shotting the enemy team. We just want to set them up for greatness, basically. Now, third in our rotation is War Maiden. Now, War Maiden has a speed of 176. My focus here is to have a decent amount of accuracy. The reason why I have accuracy on her is because I want her to land the decreased defense, which allows my main attacker to hit even harder. So, if you remember, we have the speed boost on War Maiden at this point from Diabolist. We have the 50% attack increase from Spirit Host, and now we're going to have decreased defense on all enemy players. Once War Maiden's ascended to 3-star, she does the 60% decreased defense with a 75% chance of placing it. And in addition to the 75% chance of placing, it's not booked out at all, you also have to make sure the accuracy is high enough. If the enemy team has more resistance than you do accuracy, it reduces the chance you'll actually place the buff. So I want to make sure I have as much chance possible with placing the buff. So I do have an accuracy chest piece. I may have some accuracy substats on her as well, but ideally I want her to go fast. So I definitely have speed boots. You still want her to go fast. If she's too slow, Diabolist's speed won't allow her to go third. It may still allow the enemy team to go before you. So you definitely want your champions going before the enemy team, all of them, if possible. But accuracy, chest piece is very important. This is key for the War Maiden's spot and role in the team. And then she has attack gloves. I do like the attack gloves here. Crit rate would also be very nice because she does get benefits when she does crit. But her main goal is just to place the decreased defense debuff. If she kills somebody, if she does a good amount of damage, it's perfect. Don't complain about that. We really want her to do a lot of damage, but that's not her primary goal. The primary goal of our nuker, which is Aethel in this case, which will likely be any starter champion you have, anybody who can hit a very hard A1 ability, or not A1, a very hard area of effect ability, is the champion you want to use for this nuker role. In other words, deals a lot of damage very fast and makes you win. Now, in this case, she has a speed of 160. So as you can see, she's slower than everybody else. One thing to keep in mind, that like I mentioned, your 30% increased speed is based off of your speed base stat. So if you look here, Aethel's compared to War Maiden, Aethel has quite a bit higher base speed than does War Maiden. If your War Maiden and Aethel are very close in speed after all the stuff's calculated, so if War Maiden was at 165 and Aethel was at 160, well, after getting the 10% increase from Spirit Host plus the 30% increase from Diabolist, my Aethel is actually going to be faster than my War Maiden, I do believe. So you want to make sure that War Maiden is still faster than Aethel even after the 30% plus the 10% is calculated in. Like I said, all of that is based off of the speed base stat. In this case, I have Aethel with 2 speed pieces of gear. I have the attack one here. I don't have speed boots on Aethel. If I put speed boots on her, she would be faster than War Maiden. And I have enough speed substats on my gear that I don't need the speed's main stat on my boots. I have attack here, and then I have a crit rate set here. I would love for Aethel to have 100% crit rate, but she does not. So it's not as consistent with the crits, but when the crits hit, she definitely does a lot of damage, which is what you want from the nuker. Now, if this wasn't my campaign farmer also, I would likely, and if my lifesteal gear wasn't some of the best gear I had, I would definitely switch out this lifesteal gear for maybe cruel gear, which you get from the clan boss, or offense gear, or even crit rate gear to get her crit rate to 100%. So if you're struggling and you do have a little bit of extra resources like silver and stuff, and you want to switch out this gear, definitely go for it. But ideally, you want her to just hit as hard as you possibly can. And in my case, she is level 60. And from what I've seen, you really have to have a level 60 nuker in order to do this well, because she may get hit and she may take a decent amount of damage, but if she's level 60, she'll likely survive it. I do have full masteries on Aethel as well, and this is an excellent mastery. I've seen this one do very, very well. I've bought all my masteries on Aethel, so I spent the 800 gems or whatever it was to buy the masteries, free-to-play account, so you earn these from the campaigns and follow the missions, so on and so forth. But this mastery right here is amazing. When this champion loses 50%, or when this champion loses 25% of their max HP, they have a 50% chance to counterattack. Well, when you combine this with the lifesteal gear, Aethel becomes a potential wrecking ball. Like, I've seen her counterattack several times back to back to back and cause her to win a match just because of this counterattack talent or mastery. Now, I recommend building her in a similar mastery form like this if you're a new player. Now, if you're an in-game player, you may not want to go with this exact mastery setup. This one's heavily depending off of campaign, dungeons, clan boss, and arena. I like this ability too, that whenever I inflict basically 30% or more of the target's HP, it reduces the cooldown of a random skill by 1. This works very well if it like reduces the cooldown of my AoE ability, and then she just uses it again the next turn. So it makes Aethel have the ability to hit very, very hard in the arena. Now, that's how my characters are geared. As you can see, Aethel and War Maiden are the most gear dependent. These other two champions are really just put a bunch of speed on them and let them roll. I'm going to jump into an arena match and show you exactly what this team looks like. Now, whether I win or not, I don't know. I really hope I don't drop out of silver. It's going to suck if I drop out of silver, but we'll try it anyways. This team looks like a team that I could beat. That's another thing. When you're looking through teams that you believe you may or may not be able to beat, try to stay away from people with the speed aura. What I look for is people, if I see Apothecary on the team, he doesn't have a speed aura, but he's a speed booster, so he's most likely going to be going first. Seeker is a speed booster. So the biggest thing you want to stay away from is people who have a speed aura that's very high. So like in this case, increases all ally speed by 19%. You don't really want to even mess with that. This is in dungeons. This is not a big deal. But if you see somebody who says like increases ally speed by 24% or 32% or whatever some of the other champions have, I don't recommend even fighting them. It's likely you're not going to do very well. Even with my very high speed, I still don't go first all the time. But since we do have this same champion as our lead, we do have a speed booster lead, this will be fine. We have a relatively close team structure, relatively close team power. I will try this match. Like I said, if we go first, we most likely win. So as you see here, my Diabolist is going first, so I'm going to use this area of effect speed boost for everybody. They got it. Okay, so that's unfortunate. So as you can see there, if you don't go first, you can really get messed up. Their Kale did a ton of damage. They went first. They had a bunch of attack boosts. They have a defense boost, and my team just wasn't fast enough to keep up with them. But we did do enough. We got into Silver 1. That's really the main thing that matters. I might have to fight again to get back into Silver 1, but the good news is I did do enough, and I got in there to get these things complete, which is amazing. So we will be able to progress along my missions. I will get stuck at get 30 arena medals, but we won't be having to do that in here for quite a while. Win 50 or silver gold. So it's actually coming up pretty close. But ultimately, guys, that's how you go about getting into Silver 1. That's the team structure I use. You still have to be very mindful about your battles. You have to pick and choose who you fight. There is some definitely luck involved. But if you take this similar team structure, you can even go up to gold 4. Now, obviously, you want more level 60s on the team. Once I get War Maiden to like level 60, or one of my other two champions level 60, this team can do it much better. If I switch this gear out, made it a little bit more tanky, solid, made them even faster than what they currently are, this team can definitely make it into silver fairly easily. But with the limited gear, limited levels, and limited masteries overall, this is an amazing team to get you into Silver 1. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gives you some good information. You have a good insight on how you can get to Silver 1 if you're currently struggling with getting into Silver 1. But with that said, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe on this video. Leave a comment down below if you're struggling with Silver 1 or if you have any other questions for videos you want to see in the future. We do stream live on Twitch between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. Eastern Time. And with that said, guys, thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.